Welcome back to Zaime's channel. My name is Zaim Iskandar. Tonight's video will be about a certain British team that is known as the Aston Martin F1 racing team. So they are replacing a former Ferrari, Toro Rosso and Red Bull driver, and he's also the former 4 times Formula One world champion. And who is this driver? He will be replaced by his compatriot. His compatriot has 2 fastest lap and a couple of podium finishes and 1 pole position and no podiums to his name. What is his compatriot's name? And both of them are Germans. He is doing quite successfully in other categories of racing, especially in the endurance race championship. So he raced in the British Grand Prix, replacing Checo Perez in 2020 for the Racing Point F1 team. Then I think a few races after that, he also replaced the Canadian driver, and he also contracted the global pandemic virus. Who's the Canadian driver? Lance Stroll. So he has raced with Racing Point before, and before he raced with Racing Point, he also had raced with the likes of Sauber, Force India, and also Renault. His last race before he was called in was with Renault in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in 2019, where he retired from the race and his car was flipped over because Romain hit him. Romain Grosjean hit his car, and he was driving a Renault. Grosjean was driving a Haas. Okay, so he got called back. He got called back into the seat for the British Grand Prix in 2020, replacing Checo Perez. About 24 hours before the Friday practice session for the 2020 British Grand Prix. So then he lasted for the British Grand Prix and the 70th anniversary Grand Prix. Then I think one of the Grand Prix in that particular season, he also sat in for Lance Stroll. I don't know which Grand Prix, I forgot, but I can only remember these 2 Grand Prix that he sat in for Checo Perez. So who is this German driver? His name is Nico Hulkenberg, and he will be replacing his 4 times F1 world champion compatriot from Germany, Sebastian Vettel, because he has contracted, or he has been tested positive of the global pandemic virus. I don't need to mention what is the virus, everyone knows. So I would refer at it as the global pandemic virus. Yes, global pandemic virus. So he will be racing for the season opening race in the Bahrain Grand Prix. Yeah, hopefully I think he will score points because the Aston Martin car is capable of scoring points and a surprise podium maybe. And here, yeah, that would be interesting if he could win his first race of his career. He has never won a race. He has been on a podium a few times. He has gotten 2 fastest lap to his name, and also, as I told you in the earlier part of this video, 1 pole position. Hopefully he can get a podium finish, or at least finish in the top 10 or top 5 for the race. And he was actually dubbed to be a future world champion way back in 2010. And how old was I in 2010? I was 12 years old. He was 20 something. And sadly, he actually kind of picked the wrong team to start with. He picked a midfield team. So yeah, he has never got a chance to race in a race winning car at all in his career, like his former teammate Checo Perez is doing now with Red Bull. He won, I think, 1 race with Red Bull still, and the other race was won in the same year that he got replaced by his former teammate in Racing Point due to him contracting the global pandemic virus for the British Grand Prix that particular season in 2020. So well, yep, his first race when he got back in when he got back into F1, he he got a surprising 4th place finish in that race, but in the 70th anniversary race the following week, I think he retired from the race. Yeah, and yep, because it was back to back. It was a double header. The British Grand Prix and also the 70th anniversary Grand Prix was a back-to-back event. So he stayed there for 2 races. So yeah. So for the British Grand Prix, as I told you, he got a surprising 4th place finish. And yeah, and for the 70th anniversary Grand Prix, he retired due to the car having some technical or mechanical issues. So yeah, he's back behind the wheel of the Aston Martin, formerly known as Force India Racing Point, and before Force India and Racing Point, there was another team that I actually forgot its name. So yeah, so now the team is rebranded as Aston Martin Racing, and is powered by a Mercedes engine like Force India, like what do you call it, like Racing Point is, yeah, is powered by Mercedes engine. The car is also powered by Mercedes engine. So yeah, it has traces of Force India and teams before the Force India team was created. So yeah, but before the Force India team was created, maybe they were using Cosworth engine, BMW engines back, yeah, prior to 2009. Since 2009 they were using Mercedes-Benz engine, because before that they were, I think they were using engines from other companies. Yeah, like Sauber now is using a Ferrari, and still using Ferrari. Before this, they were using Mercedes, Cosworth, and all sorts of engine suppliers and manufacturers. Until 2014 or 2015, they had the Ferrari signed up with them. So yeah, so I'm not sure how long uh, they have been in a relationship with Ferrari. Yeah, because Sauber Ferrari, yeah, and during Schumacher's time racing in F1, I think they had a period of using Mercedes engines also. Then they switched to Cosworth, to all sorts of engine, but not Rolls Royce. Rolls Royce does not make F1 engines. So yeah, maybe they had a stint with Cosworth, they had a stint with McLaren. I'm not sure with other engine suppliers, but yeah, Mercedes, sorry. I'm not sure with other engine suppliers other than the two engine suppliers plus Ferrari. So yeah, so good luck to him and welcome back to the grid. Yes, welcome back to the grid, and hopefully he will have a good race and a good race weekend. Sadly, he is just a reserve driver for the team since 2020. So yeah, the team can call him up anytime the team wants for the practice sessions, especially for FP1, or if any of the drivers has been tested positive or contracted the global pandemic virus. And yeah, that's all, and see you on my next video.